Thanks for staying with us. Joining us on the show now is the Chief Client Officer, AXA Mansard, Rashidat Adebisi. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good to have you.
Thank you.
We're discussing insurance today, and we're going to start with what's your general assessment of insurance, especially in the 2022 reports?
I think when you look at insurance, we've continued to see growth in the industry. As at the end of September, our regulator, NICOM, released a report that said that insurance premium was about 500 billion naira in terms of premium. Wow. And think about that, about insurance being something that we pay a small amount for huge risks. So it's multiples of it. So that means we're insuring billions or trillions of naira, literally, based on those. So insurance premiums have grown, and claims that we paid actually was about half of that. So claims also grew. So as of September 2023, 2022 as well, we saw that over 250 billion naira of claims were paid. Wow. So this shows that insurance is working. People are getting value for their policy, for the risks that they are protecting, and have that peace of mind at least. So it's one of the key things we saw. We also saw a lot of companies using technology, improving their engagement with customers. We now have more apps where you can just check the updates, renew your car insurance, see what's due. So something along this nature is what you tend to see with insurance, especially for 2022. So growth, still challenging environment. People still don't believe in insurance. They say God is in control syndrome is what we call it. Nigerians think, God forbid, you're wishing me bad. But really, I mean, God has provided this ability to protect people. So this is what we really want to do differently.
So there's lots of prediction, of course, for 2023, the economic situation. And as we know, most of them are scary. Yeah. So given this information, how do you think that the insurance sector would perform, and what should people latch on right now in the insurance sector to protect against these predictions? Very
important news. Macroeconomic environment is tough. Inflation was at the highest ever in the last 17 years, as at the end of 2022. So when you think about inflation being high, it means that everything you have to replace it is going to cost you a lot more. We're not even touching on devaluation today, so that's another conversation. So when things are most at risk and uncertain, this is when we really need to have insurance policies in place. And what does it do? It gives you peace of mind. Sometimes people say it's so much money. But imagine paying 250,000 to protect yourself from 5 million loss or 10 million, and sometimes even less when it comes to home insurance. So this is a time when everyone should be thinking about, what am I protecting? What is important to me? What will it cost me to replace? Because the savings you have is supposed to help you to perhaps plan for the future or plan for some cash flows. So imagine if you have to use school fees to replace your car. That would be really, really, for many people right now. So we're more vulnerable. And companies are doing this quite well, and financial institutions. Not the SME sector, unfortunately, and individuals, but this is where the opportunity is very, very strong. That in 2023, please, talk to the right people, check the insurance companies, not just because they're your friends, but because they are well-rated, they are NICOM licensed, that they're doing things, because we are creating better platforms as an industry to make sure that people can, ask questions, seek for clarifications, and protect themselves properly.
So I teach on financial education on social media, and yesterday, in my Money Monday, I spoke about the fact that one of the ways to preserve wealth is to insure, doing insurance. Yes. But a lot of people, like you said, we don't have a culture of insurance. No. So what exactly is the agenda for AXA Mansard, in setting this industry so that we can get more people involved in taking advantage of the opportunities that are in insurance?
Great question. I usually like to start by talking about our purpose in AXA. Our purpose is to act for human progress by protecting what matters. And you can imagine that what matters changes depending on your life stage, your situation. Sometimes it's children, sometimes it's your home, your assets that you've acquired over the years, and most importantly, our health, both physically and mentally. So for us in AXA Mansard, First and foremost is collective protection. We want to make sure that we're protecting people. The government puts things in place, but the government cannot afford to help us every time. Sure. So all we need to do is put a known small amount of money away with a company to ensure that you are protected against a large unknown risk that could just be lurking in the corner. But even when those things don't happen, insurance can help you plan for the future. I'd like to talk about retirement, for example. Many people don't actually have the right plans. When we were growing up, they taught us buy a house or build a house and collect rent. Sure. What if you don't have a tenant? What if you have to use all your rents to repair the house that the tenants are renting? So that means you won't have liquidity. That means that you can't pay your hospital bills, you can't do a test, and that causes, old age poverty. Because people had lots of children before who would take care of them, but not anymore. And even if the kids love you, they want to be there for you, they might not be financially capable at that time. So how do we make sure we are ready? So AXA Mansard is also helping in that regard. We're very health focused. Our health policy has both physical and mental coverage. We also protect people's assets, financially, money, help them grow it, their homes, things that you've acquired over time, and things you're planning to also use to generate revenue for you as a company, as a business, individuals. So these are very important things that we've put things in place to do. And then we also care a lot about sustainability in AXA. So we're doing inclusion, we're focused about women, about young people and helping them to skill up, about the environment from a CSR standpoint, planting trees, helping to just change the behavior, and hopefully helping people to just know that you can start to save and take up insurance policies in small sequenced places. Yeah.
I was going to ask, I just need you to, because insurance people, they didn't really, their reputation is going now. But before, even still now, they are still doubting Thomases about you people.
Indeed.
I go and put my money there. When I need the money now, I won't see it. Convince us, including me, that insurance is the best way to go.
Oh, wow. It depends on how many minutes I have. But I'll first of all start from healthcare perspective when you think about insurance. Anything can happen to any one of us, right? And what we tend to see is when you go to a hospital, the pay deposit. That time you're supposed to pay the deposit, you might have just paid for something important, so there's no cash. There's no one around at night to access your bank accounts, to have access to the card, especially if God forbid, something happens and one is unconscious, even when you have money. You don't have access to that money. Insurance helps because when you have the right health insurance, just get straight to the hospital. In fact, they are already dealing with everything. You have recovered. They have moved on. They've taken every necessary action because we have doctors who are case managers who will help you already to have the conversation with the hospital. Make sure they're getting the right treatment, the right care. Your family might not even know what to do. They need the right advice, so you have people there for you. When it comes to, yes, that's where health insurance is, and that's what we do at AXA Mansard Health. On the motor insurance side, for example, I know there's always that big debate, should I not? But you've taken 50 million naira of your hard-earned money to buy an asset, to perhaps take you from one place to the other, to create revenue, and it's something you've worked hard for. So imagine just something happens and a downfall bus just crashes into that vehicle, 3 months after buying it. That's 50 million naira gone. So some people are very rich, they can probably afford to replace it easily. But an insurance company would have given you at least a significant amount of it back if you've already paid your insurance premium. So, and what we tend to see is that own damage, the damage of your car, is actually the biggest cost in claims when it comes to insurance. So instead of trying to just find a way to do a small repair, and it's easy, but when the car is lost, the insurance company gives you back significant amount of money. Sometimes if you've done the full insurance properly with the right company, you get the 50 million back. So
since you're talking about motor insurance,
yes.
NICOM recently gave some kind of a new directive regarding motor insurance. Could you talk about that a bit?
Yes, I mean, it's been a bit debatable. Like almost everything in Nigeria is expensive now, from food to car, and I guess to insurance as well. So NICOM has sought for an increase, or actually just, increase the rate of third-party motor insurance. It's regulated. Since 2005, I've been in this industry, and it's been the same amount, 5,000 naira. So 5,000 naira was worth a lot more in dollars than it is worth today. And what we saw was the sum assured, which means if somebody was to use their bus or their vehicle to hit a car and they are third party, they will be able to repair your car with up to 1 million naira, right? Without you even worrying about your own insurance. So if that person was responsible, normally that policy covers up to 1 million naira of third-party damage. So because of this increase, 1 million naira was significant 10 years ago, 15 years ago, but not anymore. So many people are seeing incidents where it's not covered. So NICOM said, look, it's not enough, let's increase it. So that amount has been tripled to 3 million naira for third-party damage to somebody else's asset. The third party doesn't cover the car of the person who caused the incidents, right? It only covers the damage caused to third-party property damage, so 3 million naira. God forbid a life was to be lost. That policy can also pay out to the family of who lost someone, just to help them to manage things. So the increase comes with an increase in coverage. And then we saw that people are also not charging the right amount. So when they don't charge the right amount, there is a high chance that nothing is get paid out, which is causing a bad reputation for the industry. So you see all these funny vendors selling it almost like it's, you know, ice cream or biscuits and stuff like that. So in the end, they don't plan to pay anything. So of course, NICOM is trying to clamp down on it. So by pushing to make sure that they are charging the right amount, they can actually have the right funds, so we can actually support people properly. So this is really the whole idea around the increase, so that we can be the true safety net, that not government, whenever something goes wrong.
You know that third party, people just buy it anyhow.
Because it's fake. Good number is
any
fake.
claims. You can't pay any
But if
claims.
you make sure you buy the right one, God forbid anything happens, you know that you are covered. You have peace of mind. You're not going to have to
But do
take
you still need to have third party when you have comprehensive?
No, most comprehensive covers come with a third party cover as part of the package. Yeah.
We need to wrap up. Mariam, final question.
Yes, but I just want to find, like any directive, you know, yes, it has a positive, but usually you have people that are trying to circumvent. And an increase in coverage may mean some people trying.
Yes.
So what is the sector going to do to protect against that?
I mean, we're working together as an industry. We have people who are, I mean, we use technology in AXA Mansard to make sure you have the right value of cars, so that whenever anything happens, you know, you're able to get the right amount back. We suspect some people would actually try and reduce the value of their car, but they're the ones losing. Imagine if you insure a 10 million car for 1 million naira. If the car was a total loss, insurance company only pay you 1 million naira, so you've lost out. So this isn't going to be helpful. Some people might decide to do self-insurance. It means that they're even exposed. So what we're working on is to create more value to our clients. So in AXA, for example, we've added things like telematics cover, where you can look at your driving behavior or your driver's behavior to see whether they're doing the right things or not. And you can be rewarded for that. It can affect your pricing. We can also help you check the health of your car with the telematics device we have in AXA. So you can know if your car needs to be checked, if it needs to be serviced, and if a service actually was carried out. You know, that's another thing, you know, that we tend to see happening.
We have to wrap up with you. Any final words?
I mean, just to everyone, it's so important that we truly put in place something to protect us. Whether you're a woman or a man or young and just have your assets, insurance can really help you plan for the future. So I'll just say to everyone, think about it. Risk management is very, very important. And God is a very, very important insurance to all of us. But, you know, AXA Mansard is definitely the insurer after God. Eh?
All right.
Thank you.
So we'll be speaking with the Chief Client Officer of AXA Mansard. That's Rashidat Adebisi. Thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure having you. That's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, we continue with our hot topic. Stay with us. We'll be right back.